to the porting room. Today we're going to cover the basic tools that you're going to need to get into porting cylinder heads and intake manifolds. Ready?
Yep.
Okay. Safety first. Mask. You're going to generate dust that will tear your lungs up. Wear them. Safety glasses. Absolutely. Flying metal in your eyes, not pleasant. Hearing protection. Two different thoughts. Earbuds are really good if you use electric die grinders. If you insist on using an air die grinder, which we do not recommend, you're going to need heavy hearing protection or you will tear your ears up. One piece of safety equipment you won't find on the normal list is a nice fan. This thing, if you'll put it to the right and blowing across in front of you, it will catch all this stuff flying at you and push it to the side. It's a lifesaver, I'm telling you. Grinders, junk. Better option, extended nose. You can two-hand this thing. Your problem's going to be when you're grinding, the exhaust of this thing's right here in your ear. Also, you're trying to control the speed with the same hand that you're trying to control the bit with. You can do it. It's difficult. These, Cadillac. Electric die grinders, you can put a speed control, foot control. You got so much more to hold on to. You don't have a heavy air hose. You don't have the noise. You don't have the water in the airline. None of that. These are so much easier to use. Now the difference between these two, and we use them both. We've got thousands of hours on these two grinders. The Makita, the on-off switch, barely touch it, it's off. To put it back on takes a lot more effort. If you bump it, it's just off. If I was going to buy one from the start, I would probably lean towards the DeWalt because the paddle allows you to run an extension cord, put a cutoff wheel, whatever you want, take it wherever you need to. You can paddle it on and off, and you can lock it on so that it's ready to go. Last but not least, a really good pair of gloves. These bits are going to shake your hands to no end, and your fingers will absolutely go numb after 3 or 4 hours. Gloves will help that. Generally, I'll wear a left-hand glove up here where the biggest vibration is. Back here, I'm usually not with a glove unless I'm sanding, and then I'll put glove on both hands. You're going to need a set of stands to hold your work as you're grinding. You can't lay a head or intake on a table and get it in a position where it's comfortable to grind. This is just some old angle irons, some flat plate, 1/2-inch steel rod that we bent welded together, put 1/2-inch heater hose on it. Had them for 30 years. And what they'll let you do, if we're grinding back wall, we can tilt it down. If we want to get further in, we can tilt it up, move it around. It's just so much easier. Now this head, cast iron head or aluminum head, either one, they're going to be pretty still. You can work on them, they're not going to jump around. You get something like an intake manifold, and you cannot remove material fast and expect it to sit still. Add a pair of quick grips so you can clamp it to the stands. Good to go. On the grinding and sanding side, there's several different bits you're going to need. If you're going to do aluminum, you're going to want this one. This is a 1/2-inch OD rough cut burr. Not useful on cast iron, great for aluminum. This is a cast iron burr. Notice the head diameter is a little smaller than a 1/2-inch. Most of these things are going to be 3/8 or 1/2 inch. This one's actually 7/16. It's a Goodson special, and it is a cryogenic treated, but that little bit smaller lets you get into places that the 1/2-inch burr won't go, and the 3/8 burr is actually too small. Those are rough grinding. When we get to the finishing side, larger areas, we're going to use a 1/2-inch fine cut. For the tight areas, we're going to go to a 3/8. Either of these, following up behind the cast iron aluminum bit, it'll save you a bunch of sanding. Sanding mandrels, sanding rolls, many different grades. There's other tools that we're going to need, but they're going to be application specific, and we'll follow up with a technique video and get into that. On to measuring ports where we're going to remove material, where we're starting, where we're ending. These, the smaller dividers, we have these for 4-valve stuff where dimensionally it's very small. Bigger dividers on 2-valve stuff works good. The longer nose, when you're working inside long runners and intake manifolds, these are really handy. You're going to need a set of calipers that you can measure where you're starting, and you can add however much, set it, and know how much material you're taking out. This is a handy tool right here. If you're going to take this to the next level, this thing, you can go in and measure wall thicknesses and know how much you have to work with and how much you have left. Very important.